Hi moms! Welcome to today's video, Prenatal Yoga. I'm so honored to share this practice with you. It's one of my favorite things to teach, and it's truly a delight to be able to share with moms and one of the times in their lives they really need it most. So let's get started. You might need a prop. A yoga block is really nice, a blanket, a bolster if you have one, and a sip of water or a water bottle close by if you like. So, we'll begin seated. So I like to sit on a block underneath my seat so that I'm nice and supported. You can cross your legs, whatever feels comfortable. And we're just going to start with some warming up here and some breath awareness. So I want you to go ahead and take your hands and just place them on your belly and start to tune into your breathing. Maybe a few deep exhales out through the mouth. If you prefer to relax your hands, that's fine too. Just start to notice how you feel, how it is to be in your body today, without immediately trying to change anything, just noticing your own experience. Focusing on those deep exhale breaths, releasing everything that it took to get here today. Releasing any expectation of what lies ahead. Just noticing your inhale and your exhale. From here, we're going to bring our hands together, rubbing them to create a nice heat and friction. And with an inhale breath, you're going to place the hands over the eyes. Feel yourself grounding. Feel any tension start to be released from your body. And move from your mind into your heart, into your belly. Just shifting the energy a little bit as you begin to use the fingertips to massage the scalp, massage the spine, or I guess the upper spine, the neck. Just start to give yourself a little bit of TLC. From here, we'll bring our hands onto our heart, taking a moment to honor yourself and all that you're going through. It can be so much to handle while we're pregnant, and this is just a time to honor your beauty, your breath, your practice. If there's any intentions that you'd like to set, please feel free to set them here. And then next, we'll bring our hands to our bellies. Taking a moment to connect with your baby, maybe give them a little bit of a massage. If you're not pregnant but you're still practicing with us today, I'm glad you're here. Take a moment to connect back to how it felt to have your baby in your belly. Such a magical experience to remember and to go back to. So honor your uterus, honor your body, whether there was a baby in it or there's one in it now. If there's still one in there, take a moment to share anything that you'd like with your baby. What are some things that you want your baby to know? Remembering that as we practice yoga, our baby receives more oxygen through our breath awareness and more room to move around into the positions that are just right for the two of you. With the next inhale, we'll bring our arms above head. Interlace the fingers, relax the shoulders. Exhale, bring the arms down. Pull the elbows away from each other. We'll do that. Inhale, arms up. Feel yourself grounding through your seat. And exhale, arms down. Opening the chest by pulling the elbows away from each other. Inhaling up. Bring your gaze over to the left. Drop the left chin and the left elbow for a breath. Always keep breathing. Inhale back through center, and we'll do the other side. Bring the chin to the right, drop the elbow to the right. Inhale back through center. Separate the fingers, bring the hands behind the head, drop the shoulders. Inhale, open chin and chest. Just gently. Exhale, chin towards the chest, elbows towards each other. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, opening the front side. Exhale, opening the back side. Inhale one more time. Bring the arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to come forward onto all fours. So you can remove any props if you were using one. And we're going to start with our cat-cow. So I might not always be on my mat here today. Doesn't really matter. If you need extra cushioning underneath your knees, please provide it with a blanket or anything that would help. Sometimes our joints can be more sensitive while we're pregnant. So in cat-cow, go ahead and spread those fingers nice and wide. Knees are underneath the hips. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. As we inhale, you're bringing the chest through the arms, lifting the gaze. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine. So keep going at your own pace. Remembering not to drop the belly too much here. We don't want to put too much weight on the low back. So as you inhale, it's more of just an opening of the chest through the arms. And then exhale, you can really round into it. And if there's anywhere that you'd like to move or pause, please feel free. One of the goals of a prenatal practice is to move into more fluid feminine movement. So it doesn't have to be so linear. It doesn't have to be so one-directional. Think about adding in any movement that your body really craves. We want to move into our body's wisdom so that we can use it during these new times, during labor. So keep breathing. Inhale to open the chest. Exhale, rounding the spine. Imagining your baby spine against your belly, a nice little hammock for them. And imagine small spaces between the vertebrae opening up with this movement. From here, we'll find a neutral spine. And you're going to do your left leg back behind you. Flex the foot, right arm in front. Always an option to keep one or both limbs on the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, knee and elbow towards each other. Keep going at your own pace. This is a move that I learned from a women's health physical therapist, and it really helps to realign the pelvis, which as we are growing our baby, needs a lot of help to realign as it moves. Good. One more exhale. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale down. Between sides, we'll do some hip circles. You can add in the upper body if that feels good. Starting to warm up. That's also a safe core exercise that we can do. So when you're ready, right leg back behind, left arm in front. Again, you can always keep the toes lifted if that's better for you. And when you're ready, inhale to lengthen through the diagonal. Exhale, knee and elbow towards each other. Going at your own pace. Aiming to keep the hips in line with one another, so you don't want to be up here. You want to be nice and in alignment. I'm warming up. How about you? Good. And exhale, rounding. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale that knee down. Good. So the next thing we're going to do can be really helpful to have a couple blocks or even just some jars, something that you can put some weight into on your hands. We're going to bring the right leg forward between the hands. So you can always just do this here. You might need a little bit more space for your belly, so you can move the foot further out towards the edge of your mat. And then when you're ready, we want to hug the legs energetically in towards each other, tuck the tailbone, and just naturally allow the hips to fall forward for a few breaths. We don't want to overstretch anything while we're pregnant especially, so just tuck that tailbone, squeeze the legs in towards each other, and effortlessly let the hips fall forward and the gaze lift. Breathing deeply. And then with an exhale, we're going to find a nice hamstring opening. So bring the hips back. Lift the toes up towards the nose for a few breaths. You can point and flex the foot. Just getting some really nice fluid movement in the low body because it has a lot of extra blood that stores in the low body with our pregnancy. And then we'll come forward and we'll come back to all fours and we'll do the other side. So bringing that left foot forward, coming onto the blocks, squeeze the legs in towards each other, and effortlessly allow the hips to come forward. Lift the gaze. So if you're on blocks, your hands can be on the floor. You can also bring them to the thigh and relax the shoulders. Try not to overarch here. Press into the front foot. Tuck the tailbone. And with an exhale, come forward. And we'll bring the hips back towards the back of the room. Toes towards the nose and then pointed. Moving back and forth. And then when you're ready, coming back forward, hands ground, bring that foot back. All fours, moving through your cat-cow. Good. Just need to check something. Good. Okay. Beauty of filming in your own home. Okay, so from here, we're going to do either downward dog or child's pose. So as you saw in the video before this, if you're not practicing those inversions because you're after the 32 to 36 week mark, a breath or two in downward dog is going to be fine, but I don't recommend hanging out there. So if you prefer child's pose today, or if you are that far along in your pregnancy, go ahead and find your knees wide, coming onto the mat. And if you'd like to make it a little bit more active, I'll cue you through downward dog. So spreading those fingers nice and wide, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and then lift the hips up towards the sky. Relax the heels down. You can bend one knee and then the other. If you're not sure about your positioning, come into a plank very quickly. Make sure that you're in alignment with the shoulders over the wrists, and then you'll know that's where you need to be in your downward dog too. And so from here, we're going to walk our hands back to our feet into a forward fold. You can grab opposite elbow and really rock with it. Keep the knees bent as much as you like here. We don't want to overstretch anything. And we want to be nice and supported, so plenty of room for your belly. And then if you're not practicing the inversion, just stick with some cat-cow or that child's pose. From here, we're going to find a flat back, bringing our hands to our shins, squeeze the legs in towards each other, squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other, and inhale, come all the way up. If you were in child's pose, then just go ahead and make your way to standing as comfortably as possible. Good. Whew, getting warm. All right, so from here, we are going to do what I like to call the wiggle dance. Basically, we're trying to juice our joints. So we want to get everything moving and flowing. Again, that fluid feminine energy. So the first thing you're going to do is bring your hands to your thighs and just do some nice circles with your knees. How's your breath? And then next, you're going to come up and do nice big hip circles. Just going both directions. I'm going to have the screen come up just a little bit more. Great. And then we'll stationize the hips and we'll do the upper body. Nice big circles. Again, only as big as is comfortable. If today you want to do some small circles, that's really nice too. Just getting everything fluid and moving. And then last, we'll do the head. So just bring the chin in the direction of a clock. Nice long back of the neck. Perfect. Great. So from here, we'll do a little bit of standing and balancing. And one of my favorite poses to do is triangle pose. So you're going to bring your left foot forward. The toes are going to be facing this way. And then you're going to be bringing your right foot back. The toes are at a 45-degree angle. So I'll move back a little bit so you can see me. Good. So 45-degree angle. And then the front foot facing forward. Bringing your arms out. Good. Inhale through that front wrist. And then exhale the hands to a block or the shin. Right arm lifts. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. If it helps, you can bring that top hands to your belly or your hip. Give them some love. Triangle pose is excellent for pregnancy, strength, balance, hip opening in a safe way. One more breath here. With an inhale coming back up, we're going to reverse our triangle. Back hand to the thigh, front arm to the sky. Feel the nice opening in that whole left side. Inhale, we're going to come into warrior two, bending that front knee, strong back leg. Engage the pelvic floor as you inhale and relax as you exhale. So the knee might not bend as much as it would in your normal yoga practice. Again, let it be easy. Your body is already doing a lot for you. Just focus on the breath and the strength that you have inherent within your body. We're going to inhale, come up. Good. So from here, we're going to find both feet parallel to each other, facing the edge of your mat. So we're going to find a nice wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, we're going to clasp the hands behind the back. So if this isn't possible or comfortable for you today, you can just grab the elbow or the wrists. Otherwise, clasping the hands together, slight bend in your elbows. Inhale, open chin and chest. Exhale, forward. Whew. Shake it out. Keep the hands as long as you like. When you're ready, you can release them and bring them to your shins. If you're not practicing those inversions, this is a great place to bring your hands to blocks and keep that head and the heart at the same level as the hips. So you could also do this with tented fingers. Just takes more flexibility. Good. And then otherwise, you're still down, you're low. Keep those knees slightly bent. And we're all going to meet in that flat back. So the hands come to the floor in front of you. Squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other. Bend the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale the hands to the heart. We're going to go ahead and do the other side. So right foot faces the back edge of your mat. Left foot as the 45-degree angle. Inhale through that front wrist. Exhale the hand to the shin or the block. Left arm lifts to the sky. Breathing deeply. Gaze can be lifted or lowered. Remember that our balance during pregnancy can be really wonky, so don't judge yourself if it feels different than it ever has, or every day is totally different. Just breathe, and if you need to back off of a pose or not do one, come back to your cat-cow or your child's. Inhale, coming up, we'll reverse our triangle. Back hand to the thigh, front arm to the sky. Feel that nice length throughout the whole right side. And with an exhale, warrior two. Bend through that front knee. Good. So something we didn't do on the other side, but I love to add in here, is some hip circles. So when you do this video again, add in the hip circles on the other side, or when you practice on your own. It can feel really nice when you're pregnant to have that nice opening and fluid movement, as I mentioned. Good. Inhale, engage the pelvic floor. Exhale, relax. Gaze over that front middle finger. And then straightening the front leg, we're going to find a goddess squat. So from here, your feet are a little bit wider. Go ahead and bring this down some so you can see better. A little bit wider than hip width, facing out. Good. And you're going to inhale, arms up. And exhale, lower into that squat. Inhale, up. Engage your pelvic floor. Exhale, down, relax the pelvic floor. One more inhale, up. And exhale down. Good. And then from here, we're going to hold it and find an extended side angle. So the right forearm comes to the thigh, left forearm comes to the sky or overhead. Couple breaths here. Strong legs. It's amazing how much low body strength we actually end up using during labor and that we need towards the end of our pregnancy simply because we have extra weight that we're carrying. With an exhale, we'll come forward and around to the other side. Left forearm on the thigh, right arm to the sky, breathing deeply. One more breath here. Stretch those fingertips to the sky as you inhale. And then exhale, come forward. We're going to bring our hands to our thighs. I like to have my fingertips facing back behind me. And we're going to do some standing cat-cow. So inhale, lift the gaze and the chest. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, rounding. Okay. Inhale, opening the front side. Exhale, opening the back side. One more. Inhale, open that chest. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around. Come all the way up to standing. Arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Come to standing. Take a few breaths here. Feel the feet grounded through the floor. Feel the head lifted towards the sky, balanced at the heart. Honoring your standing practice. Honoring this beautiful body that does so much for you. So the last thing that we're going to do today is one of my favorite moves for prenatal yoga. And it's going to be a rolling squat. And basically, this is something that, along with cat-cow, I recommend doing daily. It's amazing. So rather than having our feet quite so wide, they're just going to be a little bit wider than hip width, toes facing out. And I'm going to walk you through the first one and do it a little bit slower the first couple times. And then we're going to just roll through them at your own pace with your own breath. So, as you're ready, we'll inhale, bring the arms up above head. Exhale, lower into our yogi squat. So, if this is really challenging for you, that's totally normal. Sitting in a chair a lot of the day means tight hips, and this can be really difficult. I really highly recommend, if your heels lift at all, to roll up your mat and place it underneath your heels, or a blanket. Something that brings the ground up to you is really important for your stability here. Good. Good. And then from here, we're going to press the elbows into the knees and press the knees into the elbows. Inhale, engage that pelvic floor. And exhale, bring the hands forward, weight into the hands, lift the hips, roll back onto the feet. Inhale, roll all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. You can take an extra breath here, or you can move straight back down into your squat. So we'll take a breath. Inhale. And exhale, lower. Good. Knees into elbows, elbows into knees. Engage the pelvic floor. Inhale. Exhale, weight into the hands. Lift the hips. Roll back onto the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, roll right back down. So pausing anywhere that you need to pause or take an extra breath. Inhaling up, going at your own pace. Something that's really nice about these yogi squats is that, I'm going to stay here so you keep moving through it, is that the squats are literally broadening the opening of the pelvis so that you have more room for baby to come out. I think it's so amazing to think about that. Another thing that's important is that you're just creating that beautiful fluid energy and motion in the womb, in the hips. It's a nice release for the low back, which can be really hard to come by during pregnancy. And these squats are also strengthening and toning the muscles of the legs, which I've already shared with you is really important to maintain an aligned and healthy pelvis throughout our pregnancy. Good. So, I'm not sure where you are in your squats, but I'm going to go ahead and exhale forward, lift the hips. Good. We'll do one more. I was about to do another one. Good, so we'll come to standing. Normally in class, I would have us do 10 to 15 of these. And if you're doing them at home, I think that's a great place to work up to. Just preparing yourself for your labor and keeping a nice, healthy, and active body in mind. But for today, the sake of this video, we're going to stop here. If you'd like to pause it and do more, please feel free. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and come down onto our mat. So we're going to do that with one more squat. Inhale up, exhale lower. A gentle twist here, right hands to the ground, left arm to the sky. Exhale lower, and we'll do the other side. Exhale lower, good. Coming forward onto the hands. And we have a few options for how we're going to take our Shavasana today. So if you'd like to cover yourself with a blanket or get your sweatshirt on so that you're nice and cozy, feel free. So if you have a yoga block, this is a really optimal place to use it. I like to end with that yoga block long on my mat, or yoga bolster, sorry. You can also use a really firm pillow or a wool blanket folded up. And then from here, what you're going to do is bring your back against the block, the bolster, and you're going to relax your back down onto that bolster. You can open the arms up to the sky, chest opens. If this creates any pressure on your low back, you want to create more space between your hips and the bolster. And then the feet can be together, knees wide, they can be crossed, or they can be long. Now, if you don't have a yoga bolster, then I recommend finding a comfortable sideline position. So maybe having a pillow or two handy, one that you could even put behind you, so that when you come to lie down, you can relax back towards it. You can put a pillow underneath your head, one between your knees, however is going to be comfortable for you. This is my modified version. And then just relaxing into your Shavasana. And I will guide you into some more relaxation here. So you stay whatever's comfortable. You can also always be seated if you have a lot more things you need to do throughout the day and you want to have more alert energy. That's an option for you as well. But wherever you are, just go ahead and come back to that deep belly breathing. Feeling the breath in the belly, the ribs in the chest, the throat opens, the body softens into the support beneath it. Opening yourself up to receive support. Taking a moment to bring your hands to your belly once more. Honoring your baby, sharing magical healing energy with your baby through your breaths, through your awareness. And then take a moment to see if there's anything that your baby would like to share with you. Just open yourself up to listen to their wisdom without expecting anything, just listening. What does your baby have to share with you in this moment? And that goes for women whose babies aren't in their bellies anymore either. Just listen to your baby's wisdom. Whenever you're ready, you can relax the hands off to the side or wherever is most comfortable. Start to imagine a beautiful, bright, healing light, whatever color first comes to mind. Imagine inhaling that color all the way down to the tips of your toes and back up. Breathing that healing light all the way to the tips of your fingers and back up. And then imagine this healing light moving from your heart to your baby's heart, and from your baby's heart to your heart. Knowing that you are always intimately connected. Allowing my voice to be your own. I am perfectly healthy. My baby is healthy. I will deliver a strong, happy baby. I choose to see the beauty in this whole process of bringing new life into the world. As my baby grows within me, I am more attuned than ever to the cycles of nature and the cycles of my own body. Everything is perfect in my world. I can surrender. Stay here as long as you like. Being mindful to come up slowly. Give yourself some time. Whenever you're ready. Sealing in the benefits of this practice. I like to finish with 3 Oms, honoring myself, our babies, and our papas, the support networks that we have. Inhale comfortably and we'll begin. The light and life within me, honoring the light and life within you. Namaste.